I don't have any problem, but
feel free to slow me down. Yeah, no problem.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, any questions before we jump into today's session? Okay. So let us go to this. Today we'll see some basic things of, we already know that admins work in setup. Just like in mobile phones, you will use settings to make changes to the software. So in Salesforce, we have to go to the setup for the admins only who can make the changes, right? So first, when we jump into setup, we have already created objects in the setup using object manager, right? So let us now see the objects in more details.
I think today there is some connectivity issues in Salesforce. I
Is it?
also face.
Yeah, it is going very slow.
Hmm.
I think my
It might
internet
have
was
been doing some kind of maintenance activity.
okay. Okay.
Okay. So we created an custom object, right? Employee in our last session. So we can also see one custom object in picture, and we can also see a standard object side by side. Let us open account also. Okay, so we have employee and account side by side, one custom object and one standard object, and we'll see how it works. So if you see the account standard object, we have seen the fields and relationship now in total detail, right? No questions asked. You know it all about. You know how auto number works. You know how formula field works. You know how roll up summary works. You know lookup relationships, that is storing Salesforce ID. In lookup relationship, if you have a lookup relationship or master detail, you will see the name data, and it is hyperlinkable, right? So whenever we see this, if you see employees, so you will always get Salesforce ID will not show up. Instead, Salesforce will replace it with the name field of your parent, and then it will give a hyperlink. So this is a lookup field or a master detail. That's how we understand this, right? This is a relationship field which takes you to that parent object immediately if you click on it, right? So this is the behavior we have all come to know. And these are other different fields. I hope you have all tested one fields each, right? Pick list is particularly most important. Pick list and multi-select pick list. These are quite exciting fields, which is many times used. It is very important field also. Please play with all these fields.
Okay.
Pick list management itself is an important part. Okay, if you have any questions, I will not get into nitty-gritties of pick list. Yeah, but today's topic is basically page layouts. What is page layout? Page layout is basically the fields which a general user will need to use. Okay, please note this has nothing to do with security. What is security? Security means which fields you can see and which field you cannot see. This is not security. This is ease of doing business. That means if there are 3 departments in my organization and I have 3 different sets of users, marketing people, sales people, support people, administrators, I might create separate layouts for these separate departments so that I can only give them the fields they need, or I can
Required fields. They are required fields.
That's correct. They are sequence of fields also. Sometimes like field 1, 2, 3, 4 is used by marketing department. 4, 5, 6, 7 is used by sales department. Support is 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I will probably use those fields into that layout and keep the other fields either down below, or I will not put it in the layout at all. Okay. That does not mean that those fields are not available to that user. Okay. In Workbench, they can also log in, or in reports and dashboard, they can also see those fields. It is just that for input, if they are not doing any data or they are not seeing that data, either I will remove that or I will put it down below so that it is not by default coming for that. What is the layout controlling? Layout is controlling 3 sections. So if I am into this field, a layout controls this detail section, the related section, and these buttons. Okay. Same with say standard object or custom object. So details, related, and buttons. So let's test it out. Okay. First, if you have multiple layouts, you see I have multiple layouts for account, but in employee I just have one layout. By default, Salesforce creates one layout. Okay. Standard objects, sometimes it has multiple layouts, right? I can create multiple layouts also. If I have multiple layouts, then I can have a layout assignment. That means which user gets what. You see, based on profiles. Profile is mandatory for each user. What is a profile? Profile is a user type. Every user will have a profile. You as a user will have a system administrator profile. This is your profile. So you can see account layout is used by you. Okay. Other profiles can use the other layouts. Okay. That's the basic assignment which we can do. Now, if I am working, since account layout is assigned to me as a system administrator, whatever I do on account layout will show up for me. So let us play with account layout. I will show you. I will show you. Wow. Seems to be very slow. Anyway, let me check this one opens fast. So let us see these sections, okay? So you see detail section. This is the section which is controlling the detail tab. And this is the section which is controlling the related tab. This is not a parent for any other objects. Employee is not a parent for any other object. That's why related tab is empty. But if I am opening account tab, you will see a lot of related tabs for accounts, right? You see, these are all related lists, which is there. I can clean up some of them. Like I don't need partner, notes and attachments not needed. Maybe yeah, contact and cases. Cases is fine. Activity list, open activities. Let's remove this. So I will keep employees list opportunities and just let's keep this too, and I save it. Okay. Once I save it, I can go back to this. Just refresh the cookies and reload it. You will see this the related list section is only two related lists, right? Rest gone because I removed those related list. Okay. Now let us play with this detail section. So there are so many fields. I can remove a lot of fields if I don't need it. So particularly, I will go back to account layout. I can say that maybe sick code is not required, employee is not required, ownership not required, ticker symbol not required, rating not required, account site not required, annual level not required, roll up I will put here, GST I will put here. Yeah. Customer priority not required. In fact, this total section is not required. I will remove this one. Okay, gone. That is fine. Description, billing is probably not required. I will also remove this section. So I can say here, maybe I will remove this section. Okay. So I have cleaned up a lot. So I will save it. So I know how to remove fields, right? How to bring back fields. If I have removed something by mistake or it is not there. So I can easily go back to the top here in the field section and I can bring back the field which I need, right? I'm bringing back. Save. Okay. So now I will go. Sorry?
I have a question. Layout is only for 2 column only. We cannot make another column.
I will show you.
Okay.
Yeah. So here now the detail section is basically it's a lot more cleaner, right?
Yeah.
I have removed a lot of fields which I am probably not using. Those fields are not removed for me. I can bring them back again. I can also see them in reports as a user. Okay. Security is a different thing. This is ease of doing my job. Please note that. Okay. So I can make changes on my related tab. I can make changes on my detail tab that we saw using page layout, right? I can move this field here, this field there. I can do all sorts of realignment of my fields of this section using page layout. So page layout is a very powerful method in which you can change your screens, right? And the basic method in which you can do minor changes on your layout. So page layout is very important. Another part important is through page layout is basically we are also controlling which buttons we are showing to the users. The button in page layout has two tiers of showing up. What is tiers? Tiers means Salesforce will first show you this section and this section, all the buttons which belong to these two sections. Okay, once you, so this is by default which is showing up. You can override this using this section. Okay, employee and quick actions is the default. So let us see which buttons are there. Let us remove these buttons so that we can understand what buttons is showing up. So you see, so I have only kept two buttons, edit and delete, right? Employee table, right? What I changed? Employee table, right? Employee table. Yeah. The employee, I can put account here and save it. And this time I will go back to employees. Cache clearing is very important. Otherwise, you will not be able to see the changes happening. So now I am in the employee. I have broken it down into two columns. And I can see these are the fields which is showing up. Edit, delete is there, but there are four fields. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 other buttons are there, which is not there in the page layout at all. So what happened? Where did they come from? They are coming from actually the global actions which is already configured at Salesforce end. So there are a lot of global actions which is there. If you see these actions, there will be global actions, and there are these global actions are already there. So this is already showing up in your different target objects. So so these objects which you are showing right now is what? Employee. Here basically we are getting those global actions, create record actions, right? Which you are showing up. You can delete this also, and then this will not show up. So I deleting it this, or you can remove it from the layout also. You can do that, or you can deactivate this, right? So like I am seeing new contact. New contact is this one. So I can go there, and which is there. Sorry, new contact layout. This is the new contact layout. It's a global action which is there. So you can see this button on all objects, right? So let us now override the global actions. Can I do that in the layout? Yes, you can. How? I will come back to my employee object. I will go to page layout, and I can enable override the global publisher layout. Okay, global publisher layout is also, you can see the global publisher layout here. This is the publisher layout, which is you can also change. So if I go and edit this, I can just say that this is the quick action section, right, which you are seeing. So let me remove this. Let me create new task. Sorry, new. Let me remove logger call, email, opportunity, new case, new list. So this is how I am basically, this is the global public. This will impact all objects. Okay. So let us only create a new task in this global action, new task, and maybe new lead. Okay. Or new case. This is my global action. So when I make this change and refresh this cache, you will see now I have not made page layout changes, but I am seeing new task and a new case is just showing up right from the global action. But this is my global publisher layout. But I can go back to my object and I can override the global publisher layout if I want. So I am on my layout. What is override? Override means making it inactive and making my publisher layout active. So this is the quick actions. I can now remove everything here and save. Then what will happen is that I can go back and refresh the cache. Since my quick action is overwritten, my edit and delete button is the only button which I can see. Now the page layout has taken full control, right? Global publisher action is not relevant. So now Salesforce is showing buttons which is here and here. If I bring any quick action button, a new case here and save it, you can, of course, this will only work according to what the global page layout is basically doing. So if I go back, new case button is back because now the page layout is controlling the global publisher accounts is overwritten. Any questions so far?
No.
So we saw how detail section is controlled, related section is controlled, and the buttons are controlled by page layout, right? Okay. Important part here to understand is that we also have this section on the top. This is a title header section, right? This can be controlled using another layout, which is called compact layout, which is down below. So by default, Salesforce gives you a system default, but you can, and this is also assigned, you see, this is assigned for everybody, edit assignment, but you can create your own compact layout with the fields which you want to highlight on the top. So here is my compact layout. Maybe I will say my compact. I will add my account. I will add my salary. Employee code. I can save. And I have to go and override my system default to my compact layout, which is the new compact layout, which I've done for my employee. So look at these changes, what is happening here. So if I refresh this now, now I am able to show you the salary and employee code. These are fields from here, which I want to highlight on the top. Okay. So I now have a lot more control on my page, right? So I can make changes on my detail section. I can make changes on my related section. I can make changes on the buttons I want to show. I want to make changes on the top header, which I want to show, all through page layouts. Now, page layouts, as you saw, compact layout and page layout both are basically assigned to users types, and those user types are called profiles, right? What is this profile used for? If you go to your users, you are one of the users, right? You can create other users. So here, this is my user, which is a system administrator type. So this type is controlling which page layout am I using, right? Salesforce will give that page layout based on the user which is logging in. So if there is another user, I can create another user. It can be a standard user. It can be another system administrator. But if it is the same system administrator, all the users of the same profile will get the same page layouts. So profiles will govern which page layouts is given to you, right? But there is also a nuance which we cannot have. Let's see in the employee itself. So what we saw as a page layout option, that page layout is assigned based on the user types. That means my detail section will look the same for different sets of users, right? Or types of users. What if I want to have a different layout or different fields value or view? Achha, this layout is also used in edit, and it is also used in what is that? Create new. So detail section is used in the same. So when whatever layout changes you are making, that is also affecting your new and edit. Delete does not have a screen, so we don't worry. So it's not only reading, okay? Layout is affecting new record screen also and edit record screen also. Okay, please remember that. Okay. Now, if I have different type of records, based on that, I want to see this field type. That is not possible till now, because it is based on who is logging in. Based on who is logging in, we will get this section. But what if I want to have a separate layout for manager employees and a separate layout for usual employees? Maybe for manager employees, they will have some additional fields which I can see. How do I do this kind of a thing? That means my layout is now decided not only by the people who are logging in, but also by the type of record which I am creating or editing or modifying. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
And it might be that employment type, this pick list will be different for my managers as well as for my normal employees. Or I might have two types of employees. One is contractual employee and a full-time employee. So these field values can be different based on different types of employees I am creating. So I don't want to show which is not relevant for that kind of employee. That means I have to now create a type which is governing my screen and also governing the pick list values which I want to change. How do I do this? For this, you have to implement something called a record type. Okay, let's see this. So I am now creating two record types. One is called manager. And this record type I am assigning to all profiles, including myself. That means now I can create a record with using this profile. Which layout can I use for it? I can also give separate layouts for separate people, right? For this record type, please understand this. Save and new. Now I am creating another record type. This is called now, what is that? Executives. That is another record type. I am making it active, making it available for everybody. That means you can create either a manager or you can create a executive employee, right? And save it. I can have a different layout for this record type. Okay. And it is showing me which pick list should I choose for which record type, right? That is very important. So I am on the executive. I can say my executives can be contractual, part-time, or full-time, or maybe full-time. I am only having executives who are part-time and contractual, right? And I can make part-time or not contractual as my default choice. And I can go back to my record type for managers. And I can also edit this. And I can say that make it part-time and full-time only. I will not allow contractual employee type as part of my manager type of employee. So now what is happening is that if I go and refresh my remove keys, now if I create a new employee, it is asking what kind of record type should I go for. That means it will choose the appropriate page layout based on what kind of record I am creating. Am I creating a manager type or am I creating an executive type? Why does it matter? Salesforce is now selecting based on my input, manager or executive. And based on that, it will give me the options for pick list choosing as well as the page layout, which will load for me. Right? So if I am on the manager profile, you will see I am getting only two values, full-time and part-time. But if I am going and creating a executive, then I am getting the other two options. Okay. So pick list filtering is possible using record type. You can also assign different layouts to the record type. So this now page layout assignment will look very funny now. You see, now you have two parameters: which user, which record type, which layout. So two criteria will come now. Not only logged in user, which type of user is logging in and which type of record is he creating. Based on that, the appropriate layout is getting chosen. And based on which record it is chosen, you can also filter the pick list. Is it clear? Record type?
Yeah.
Okay. So record type makes the page layout dynamic. Because by default, page layout is static, right? One user login, that is layout applicable for it. But now the user can choose the layout to use based on what kind of record they are basically creating or editing also. So if it is a different record type, manager kind of record, if it's editing, then that layout will open up for that kind of user. Okay, please remember this. So a user, if I am assigning both record types, then this pop-up window will come. This window will come to all users who have both record types. Okay. If I don't give one record type to them, then this pop-up will not come. It will be only by default that record type will be created for that user. Okay. Clear? Yeah. Acha. Once you create a record type, now if the user already has an assigned record type, in that case, you will not be able to create a master kind of record. That means record type less, you cannot create any further. Yeah?
Did not understand what you said.
Once I have assigned a record type to a user, that user now cannot create a master record type. So that record type less record cannot be created. Now they will always create records using the record type that is assigned to them. If no record type is assigned to them, then of course they can, there is no record type, then they are creating master records. Yeah. Right now,
So,
any questions?
So any manager type of employee will use only this manager layout, right?
No, it doesn't.
So I think you're confused here. This is an employee table of the data, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a user is logging in. Which kind of user is logging in? I am system administrator.
Right.
So when I am seeing that data or creating that data or editing that data, which layout am I using is chosen by this assignment. Okay.
Okay.
This table called employee has two types, executive and manager. Based on the data, that appropriate layout is getting chosen by me.
Okay.
What you are talking about, a manager will be seeing the manager layout. Manager is something which is a profile which is logging in. Please try to understand. This is a data of your customer. This is not your organization's data. That means manager and executive, he belongs to the manager and executive of your customer.
Customer, okay.
And manager and executive which is logging in is this profile. Your organization is here. And the data which you are seeing in, this is the customer organization. CRM will not store your organization data. CRM will store your customer's data. Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
So this employee is your customer employees. It's not your organization employees. Are you getting the point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if your sales guys are looking at the manager, customer managers, or executive of your customers, they will select which layout is relevant for them. That based on that, it will assign. So if the manager has some more fields to add, then I will give a manager layout here, and executive will have an executive layout. So something like this. So I will maybe edit this layout and make it save as. One is called executive layout. And I will save as manager layout. And probably I will add some more fields for my manager type. I don't know, maybe yeah, let's keep it similar. I will I will do it later. So here, if I am going back to object manager, I'm going to employee. I'm going to layout. So let us change the layouts now. So I have a default layout, which will be used by default. But if I am creating a executive kind of a record, I will use a executive layout. If I am using a manager kind of record, I will be using manager layout. Fine. Are you understanding this now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you see, this is my default layout. This is my executive layout. This is my manager layout. I have assigned these 3 layouts for all users similarly, but I can make changes. I can make, like, system administrator will always see executive layout, be of which record type it belongs to. It is possible, not a problem. It depends on your ease or whatever is required. So I can make a special arrangement, like for system administrator. Maybe the default layout is not, manager is the right layout. So I will go ahead and make manager layout for everything.
Okay.
Okay. So it depends on what kind of record you will be using, which layout you want to use based on which situation or which kind of record you're creating or editing or deleting. Creating, editing, or basically reading. Clear? This executive or manager is not your organization's executive or managers. This is customers' executive managers. This is the data. And left is the users of your organization, the selling organization. This is buying organizations. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. So now we know that page layout can help us filter our pick list. It can also help us, page layouts can ease which kind of fields I want to use. So I can bring those fields on the top and probably remove that fields if it's not used at all, or bring it back down below if I am not frequently using those fields. So page layout is ease of filling data for different kinds of users of your organization. Different kinds of users of your organizations are different profiles. So users will be created based on the profiles you have. Based on profiles, the appropriate layout, Salesforce will open up that appropriate layout for you. The users can also control the layout if you enable record types on that object. So whenever a user is creating a record type, at that time, Salesforce will automatically choose that record type, that layout for them. So you can make the page layout static or dynamic based on the different requirements you have. So we have understood today what is a page layout, and we have also understood today what is a record type. Record type is usually needed right now to filter pick list values or choosing the page layout based on different record types. Is it clear now? So compact layout, you see this also now, if I go and compact layout assignment, you see now it is also showing record types, right? You can have the primary compact layout, but you can also make like executive as system, and you can make this one as compact. So record type can also be utilized for your compact layout. Okay, or you can say that it will always be whatever I am selecting on the top. So it is called inherit from primary. So I am selecting whatever on the top that will be applicable for all record types. Clear? So compact layout can also be enabled based on different record types if you want. Okay. Of course, record types that can be utilized for, you can have different compact layout. Compact layout is basically not profile oriented. You see, there is no profile here. So you are not using compact layout for different profiles. You can use for record types. Is it clear now? So now in the page layout, I can go ahead and also override. Manager layout is for system administrator, right? All record types. I can now override these two sections using this section. If I enable this section, only whatever is there in this section will work. And this section, even if I remove this, this will be non-functional. Okay. So if I am going there and refresh the screen, reload, edit, delete, submit for approval. So page layout has, for the buttons, are of 2 layering. First layer is basically the default standard buttons, custom buttons, quick actions, adding these 2. If I am not using quick action override, then whatever is global publisher layout buttons plus these buttons. But you can override everything together using Salesforce mobile and lightning actions. So there are different sections. So if this section is enabled, whatever is there in this section and this section is ignored. Clear? Please remember it. So it is very careful to check why my button is not showing up. So you need to understand the hierarchy of overriding. So if the Salesforce mobile and lightning actions is enabled, then your quick actions and the standard buttons are overridden in the page layout. Okay. Okay. On the record types. Sorry, in page layouts, you see the contact has many columns, but employees has other columns, but I am not seeing in the record type. I can enable others. If this ranch button, you can create whatever values you want to show. Like I want to show the salary. I want to show the maybe employee record type also. You see, and save it. So what will happen now? If I am going to accounts and refreshing the cache, I can bring other column values of my child table into a parent table. Employees, you see. Okay. So I have now got other columns which is there. So in your assignment, on your actor table or actor layout in the related list, I want to see all the names of their films as well as the salary in that film. Okay. And on the film, I want to see the first name and last name of all the actors and the salary of that actors. Like this.
Okay.
That's the assignment.
Okay.
Apart from showing the CSVs with external ID in the next class.
Okay.
Another thing is, yeah, tell me.
No. I'm saying one thing is easy and another one I have to check once again.
Which
External
one is
idea.
which one? External ID. Yeah. External ID is even easier.
It's
External
easy.
ID is
Actually, I
your
need
ID.
to practice once again.
External ID is your ID.
Yeah.
It is created in which side? Parent side or child side?
External ID.
Yes.
It must be created parent side.
Parent side. And external ID is used for data loading in which side? Child records or parent records?
Child records.
Child
Child
records. So external ID is basically the replacement of Salesforce ID for creating or loading data into your master detail or lookup fields. Because master detail lookups will need the Salesforce ID. Instead of providing the Salesforce ID, you can provide the external ID, but you have to also tell that it's a smart lookup. That means please replace these values with the Salesforce IDs and upload.
Okay.
Clear? That's the whole purpose of an external ID. Today, we have seen how the page layout works, how record type works, and in the page layout, how the different layers of actions override can happen. Okay. Please test this and finish the assignment. I will go a little slow because in the next class, we'll go and check how lightning pages are the new things. So page layouts and record types are going defunct. Salesforce will move out from this and we will be completely working on lightning pages. What is lightning pages? We'll see that in the next class. Okay. But please play with the page layouts. Please play with record types. Please play with pick list values. Okay. So that if you have any questions, please come into the next class and we'll discuss in thorough details. But please give time. Otherwise, you'll not be